Okay, hello everyone. Good morning. Okay, welcome to our webinar for today. Yan, so we have how many participants? Oh, we got 90. No, joke lang. We have almost 10 participants for today. Okay, with our speaker. Ayan, so may mga nag-admit pa. All right, so good morning. How's everyone today? I hope you're doing great. Okay. And nakapag-prepare na ba ng lunch? Okay, ang ating mga mommies. Okay. So here, before we start, okay, let me give you the objective of our webinar for today. Okay. So first, okay, the main objective of our webinar is why is education important? May hit po natin yon. Why is learning English important? And tips on how to learn English effectively. And of course, may quick bonus pa. So quick tips on how to be an online tutor. Okay, of course, sa mga mommy na gustong try na mag part-time job sa bahay and it's very um, accessible sa ating lahat. Okay, like na mga mommies na katulad natin. Okay, so before we start, I would like to ask our founder of Kuya Ryan's Classroom, to give an opening remarks for everybody. So let's all welcome Mr. Mark Ryan G. Deryada. Okay, so Ryan, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Teacher Honey. Teacher Honey or Peony is she's my wife. Good morning and welcome sa ating webinar today. Okay, and we have this privilege to to attend free classes and also free webinars by KRC. And ngayon, Teacher Honey, meron tayong special guest muli. Last time, no, we had this special guest, Teacher Patrick from the US of A, and we challenged him to teach our Pinoy kids online in a different language in our native tongue. But today, we are so blessed to have a special guest, okay? And we've known her for for a long time, okay? And she used to be our coworker, okay? At ano pa yung mga alam mo dito sa ating special guest, Teacher Honey?
Maganda. Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful, of course. Siyempre naman.
Kung last time, pogi yung ating speaker, siya ay maganda or beautiful. And she's
Definitely.
very talented.
Yes. Okay. And ano pa yung mga dapat nalaman ng mga viewers natin about our special guest?
Yan, ako, ito na nga Kuya Ryan, no? Okay, so I would like to formally introduce to everyone, okay? So she has a BS, Bachelor in Biology, okay, degree, and Miss Wildlife Biology and Masters in Education, MA in Education. She worked a variety of jobs for deer biologists in the US to on English tutor in the Philippines. She's from Pennsylvania, but currently residing now in Kentucky. And she is a mother of two wonderful kids. Okay,
Oh.
so what are we waiting for? Without further ado, let's all welcome Miss Gina Dela Cerna.
Yes. Wow.
Hi, hello. So
Good
happy to see you
morning.
guys.
Yes, we are happy to see you too, and for accepting the invitation to be here at KRC.
I am glad you are not making me talk in Tagalog. I would fail that challenge terribly.
Yeah, maybe next
English
time
is
we
a
can
must.
challenge.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, hi. Hey, Teacher Honey, have you noticed something? Something with
Yeah,
Gina
something that's
today?
something to her. Ano ba yun? Okay. Parang, what's with the hat?
Yeah, she's
Miss
wearing a
Miss
green
Regina.
hat. What's with the
Yes.
green hat, Miss Gina?
Today is a holiday in America. It is called St. Patrick's Day.
Oh,
Have
yeah,
you
we
heard
heard
of
about
St.
it.
Patrick's Day?
Yes, we've heard about St. Patrick's Day. But
Yeah.
I think, if it's much better if you can tell us more about it so a lot of
Mm-hmm.
Filipinos can be educated about
Okay.
about the said holiday.
Well,
That's right.
St. Patrick's Day comes from Ireland. And what do you think of when you think of Ireland?
I just think of the accent, Irish.
I
Okay.
and I think it's always rained most of the
Mm,
time.
because of all of the rain, the plants grow and everything tends to be green.
Yes, that makes
So, to celebrate, we wear a lot of green. So, let's talk a little bit here about St. Patrick's Day. All right. So, St. Patrick came from Ireland and he became a saint for teaching people about the clover because a clover is three leaves but one clover. Just like we have three parts of one God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. So it became a big holiday for the church. Then people from Ireland moved to America and we changed the holiday a little bit. It's not about just church now. Now it's about having a green party for no reason. So we like to joke around and have parades and parties and wear green and eat green food. Now, green food can be boring. We have peas and cabbage and green beans. Not a lot of good green food. So we make green food and we have a lot of different snacks and desserts. And it's a very fun holiday. We can also tell some stories about leprechauns who are small people and they have a pot of gold. And if you catch the leprechaun, you get the pot of gold. So when we are talking about Ireland, we can try to say our Irish greeting. This is how they say good morning in Ireland. Top of the morning to ya.
Top of the
I
morning
have,
to ya.
oh, hey, nice teacher, honey.
I don't know if I can do it. Top of the morning to you.
Oh, wait, that's
Did I
pretty
did I
good.
say it right,
How
Miss
about everyone?
Regina?
Yeah, I think everyone needs to try it because I have a terrible Irish accent.
Mhm.
But it's fun to practice, right? Top of the morning to ya.
Top of the morning to you.
There we go.
Okay.
And the more we practice, the better we'd get, right? So
Yeah.
we keep at this, soon we can be Irish. What do you think?
We can.
I don't think so. Now, I know I am terrible, terrible, terrible at an Irish accent. You guys at home, you can try it. See if you can say top of the morning in an Irish accent. It's really hard because we don't do it a lot. And if you don't practice something a lot, you're not very good at it. Now, my British accent is a little bit better. And this is why right here. Do you know this book?
It's a Harry Potter.
Very famous.
Harry Potter. Exactly, exactly. Everyone loves Harry Potter, and Harry Potter is from England. And I watch a lot of TV shows that happen in England. Do you guys watch any TV shows from England with British accents?
I used to. I
No?
used
You
to.
used to? Okay, I think it's fun. And I have this right here. Let's see. I'm gonna make me big. Can I do that? Oh, maybe not. All right. Well, I have this book right here, Harry Potter, and every time I read it to my children, I try talking with a British accent. Let's give it a go here. Chapter 1. Should we read the whole thing? Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal, thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious because they just didn't hold with such nonsense. It's a little bit better than my Irish accent, I think.
Wow.
Because I have read a lot of very fat Books. Thank you, teacher. I have read a lot of very fat books practicing my accent. I listen to a lot of TV shows and then I try to copy them. Just today, I was talking to a man from London for my job with English tutors, and he asked me, "Do you know the answer?" And I said, "Answer? I like that." So I paid attention. In America, we say answer. What's the answer? It doesn't sound the same as answer. So in different areas, we say words in different ways, right? And the only way to learn is to try to practice and try to imitate what we hear, try to copy it, try to sound the same as people from other areas. So I had a problem when I lived in the Philippines in that people could not always understand what I was saying. Even if they spoke English and I spoke English, we would say things in different ways. So when I worked with Teacher Honey and Teacher Ryan, we worked near this stop. This was the bus stop I got off at. So I took the bus to work, and the first time I got on the bus, I got the money for the conductor and I said, "Bonnie." And he said, "Huh?" He had no idea what I was saying. Like, Bonnie, we don't have a stop called Bonnie. So I had to listen to other people and try to mimic what they were saying. And bunny, bunny. He said, oh, okay. So I had to try to sound like them for them to understand me. And this is exactly the same thing when people from the Philippines want to work with American companies, right? Sometimes we need to change the way we say things. Even if you are talking English, the same language, you might have to change the way you say things so people can understand you. Now we have this cute little girl here, and she is going to say something. The boy lives at tree. So she said, the boy lives at tree. Now I do not know if she said, the boy lives at tree or the boy leaves at 3. I'm not exactly sure what she was saying. So, depending on where you're living, people can pronounce words differently. And you want to try to sound American if you want to work for an American company, right? So, an important thing when we are saying the. I know a lot of people in the Philippines, in a lot of countries, tend to make it sound like a D. The. And Americans and British stick our tongues on the outside of our teeth. The. So it's a silly little thing to do, but if you watch what people do with their mouth, the, it helps you. And just like tree or 3, sticking your tongue out there, 3. So tiny places you put your tongue can change how words sound. Now, some people might say, who cares if I sound American? It doesn't matter. But there are a lot of jobs with American companies. So it's a good way to try to move ahead. And even if you don't want a job as a teacher online, working for insurance companies, for call centers, for banks, there's a lot of jobs you can get to talk with Americans. But even if you don't want to do that, nobody will complain and put you down for speaking English too well, right? It is always a wonderful skill to have, no matter what job you want. Speaking English well will help you get ahead. And if you don't want to work with an American company, maybe practice your British English, right? Practice your Harry Potter. You can be the only kid in your class who talks like Harry Potter. Everyone will be impressed. And it's a fun hobby. So, a great thing to do when you are watching TV shows, if you watch people, copy the way they say lines. If someone has a really cool catchphrase, copy them. Try to say it the same way they say it. Then, if you are reading a book, try to read with an American accent. See if you can do an American accent on your own. It's kind of fun to try, and it's a great way to practice. I do not think looking at these pictures here, I do not think you should try talking like Scooby Doo. He is probably a very bad choice. But other than that, just anyone you're copying, it's a great way. Now, I have done a lot of different jobs. I have done all kinds of different jobs. I was a wildlife biologist. So this is me and an airplane. I went up in the airplane to try to find my deer. This is one of my deer. It has a radio collar. I would trap the deer and put the collars on them. They were not shamrocks. They were not clovers, but tried to follow the deer up in the plane. It was really, really cool. But then I moved to the Philippines. And do you guys recognize this place here?
Yes, it is.
Yes, look
We do.
familiar? The other pictures I had little baby Fiona with me from here. But this is where I used to work with Teacher Honey and Teacher Ryan. And then this is me going over to Korea and meeting some of my students there. It was a really neat trip. And because I made friends with those students, their teacher invited me to Korea to come visit them. It was really neat. Then now I took my teaching and I took my science and I put them together, and now I am a science teacher. So this is me with some of my students. We were helping at the Hope House for people who need help. And I also work online still, doing work with a Korean company and training people how to be English tutors online. So I still know that. So I have done a whole bunch of different kinds of jobs. And how did I do that? Study, right? You have to work hard when you want to do things. No matter what, there are only two ways to get ahead in the world. You can work hard or you can have a really rich uncle. You recognize this guy? This is Tony Stark in Iron Man, right? I do not know Tony Stark. Nobody gave me $1 million. That's too bad. But even Tony Stark worked really hard. He studied a lot. You know he studied a lot because he invented the Iron Man suit. And we can all study a lot. That is how we get ahead. Nobody is good at something the first time they try. We never are. We always have to work hard, try over and over and over again, and not giving up. Not giving up is the most important thing of learning something. Now, sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you're just not very good at something. I am very good at math and numbers and science. I am terrible, terrible at languages. That's why I said I could not do this class in Tagalog. I know I did not do very well at studying Tagalog. Let's see. Kamusta? Mabuti? No. I am very bad, and I know that. I am also very bad at sports, at using my body. I do not have good coordination. But I still try. I still try these things. And that brings me to a neat idea. I like when I studied for education, I learned about multiple intelligences. That means people can be smart in different ways. So in green here, we have math smart, in yellow, word smart, and that's usually what we think of as smart. You do really good at school. But number red, color red is people smart. That means you are very good at talking and communicating with people. That can be just as important in a job. If you are a boss, if you are a manager in charge of people, you need to be good at talking to people. And light blue here, picture smart. That means you're very good at finding different parts and putting them together. So you can fix things really well. You can build and create new things really well. And there are all kinds of different jobs that people can be good at for the different kind of smart they are. Now, are either of you musical smart? Teacher Ryan, Teacher Honey, are you musical smart?
Um, I I
You
am.
you have a lot of
I guess it's
instruments behind
Ryan.
you. See, that is a whole bunch of talents of jobs that I could never have. Ryan, what kinds of smart do you feel like you have?
Okay, I will skip the math smart, but I think I got this musical and then interpersonal, um, word smart as well, and then yeah, I think those three.
Yeah, so a different mix. And Teacher Honey, what kind of smart do you think you have?
I think I got interpersonal, word smart, and a little bit of logic smart.
Ah, see,
Just a little.
they have a
Okay.
different mix and they are both
Mm.
teachers. So even in one job, we can have different mixes. Now, if you find a famous singer on stage, they're probably going to be body smart because they're a good dancer. Definitely not me. How about you, Teacher Honey? Can you dance?
I do.
Oh, there we
Yeah, when I
go.
was way back before,
She's
I
got
used
some
to
body
dance.
smart.
Hmm. Hmm.
And they're going to have music smart. So different kinds of jobs take different kinds of smart, of intelligence. And don't think that just because you're bad at one thing, you should quit. You should always try. But you can also find different ways of studying that use what you're good at. And then you can find good jobs. All right. Well, I think that is all I had to talk about here. Do we have any questions or anything you wanted to talk to me about becoming an English teacher or studying, speaking English? Any questions?
Yeah, so a lot of people have requested for this topic because
Hmm.
they're wondering how to be an online tutor. So this
Ah,
is a bonus topic from by Miss Gina, and they want to know like what should they remember if they don't have
hmm
any experience about online tutoring or
okay.
an online tutor.
Well, to be an online tutor, usually English tutor, of course, so you need two things. First, you need to speak English with an American accent. Most people think of American English as the international business language. So they want to learn American English. And the best way to do that, like I said, copy how you hear other people say it. Um, if I just went to England, I would not think I was speaking incorrectly because I wouldn't be. But if I'd say, hey, where's the schedule? Everyone would say, the schedule? Let me find it. Because even though it's right to me, they know what I'm saying, it doesn't sound proper. So if you want to talk, then you ignore how you speak because you speak English perfectly fine, but you want to try to copy the American way. There are tons of YouTube videos that tutors, especially Filipino tutors, have made on words that Filipinos sometimes mispronounce. You can always look those up and try copying them, like the the, that. Make sure you're sticking that tongue out. These. And the more you copy, the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Don't do it just when you're working, when you're walking around, talking to yourself, singing, uh, doing chores. Try out your American accent and see how it sounds. The second thing you need is to be good at talking with people. If I get on the phone with a student and I say, hi, what do you want to study today? Nobody's going to want to continue talking to me. So you want to learn um, to be interested in what the other person is saying. And one of my favorite sayings, even if it seems bad, fake it till you make it. You might be really nervous going in to talk to a new student, but if you pretend you're not, it's going to seem like you're not, and you're slowly going to feel more comfortable. So, a tip I always give my tutors when they're talking to students is pretend your student is the most interesting person in the world. They are probably not, but you pretend they are. You want to know more about everything they say. So, oh, why? Tell me about that. When you ask people about what they say, they feel like you're interested in them and then they like talking to you. So, as long as you work on your pronunciation and grammar, um, I know grammar is harder because sometimes there are just natural ways we say something. Honey or Ryan, can you think of a common phrase that Filipinos use that's not quite grammatically correct in American English?
I think
Can't think of one.
it's like we have this one phrase like ilan kayong I'm gonna say it in my native tongue first.
Uh-huh.
Ilan kayong kumakain sa bahay nyo? So it's like you're gonna translate it into into English. Like how many of you are you in the family? Like how many of you in the family eating your house? Like so that is not grammatically correct, but
Like the
yeah,
literal.
a lot of people, you know, Filipinos still use it these days.
All right. So yeah, that is my family is getting our house and
Eaten.
we're eating it. Not what you meant there. Right? So sometimes it's really hard. You just need to talk to someone else who can help you. Um, you can try to pay attention to the way they word things in movies, but that makes it harder to know if your way is okay or not. So that's a hard one. Again, those YouTube videos are great. There's tons of them that can help you. Um, but that's a general idea. Do you have more specific questions? Something I should talk about?
Okay, I think we can invite the parents now to turn on their videos, and if they have questions, they can you can raise your hands so Miss Gina can answer them. Okay, okay, you can turn on your video, everyone. Let's see, and also the kids. So we have like 8 here, 9 participants,
Okay.
including us. Okay, so we have Arlene Bon, Gian, Lenny Crisostomo, Anneline Kabugao, and Christine Mia. Will you please turn on your cameras?
Are they
Please, I'm
afraid?
lonely.
We feel lonely, so you
Don't
gotta
be
turn on your
yeah.
cameras as well.
Is it the hat? Are
Shy.
you afraid of
Okay,
my
they say
hat?
shy type here.
Oh.
They're just
Okay.
shy.
If you type, I can still read.
Hmm.
Yeah, so if you have questions now, we can do it until like 12. For now, we can answer your questions. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she talked about the education, the importance of learning English. Okay, not just about teaching, but in many ways, we it can benefit us a lot. Yeah. So, Mommy Lani, Arlene, Von, Gian, Anlin Kabugao, Christine Mia, you can turn on your cameras. We can see your beautiful faces. Yeah, oh, Christine
Ayan.
Mia, hello. Mommy
Meron
Christine.
ng tumanggap ng challenge.
Yes.
Si Miss Christine, Mia. Mhm.
Miss Christine, do you have any question for Miss Gina?
Nothing.
Okay. Any question that you can ask her about the things that she discussed this morning?
Or anything.
Anything,
Any
anything.
questions at all, I will answer.
Yes. Si Mami Mia lang yung matapang, oh. Christine. Okay, how about the others? So we want to see your beautiful faces. Lani Crisostomo, Arlene, Mommy Arlene. Si Mommy Arlene matapang to eh. Okay, Bon, Gian, and Annalyn Kabugao. Okay? So any questions? Oh, there's a question here. Is it too late to study English if if you're adult, like maybe you're 30 or 40?
Never,
Okay.
never. Remember, most of the students for my English company, they are Koreans, but most are adults. We teach adults in Korea English, and that is what we do. And so if they can learn English, then of course you can learn English. There is never anything to stop you. I'm sure that you can find, if you are shy, lots of YouTube videos that will help you. If you are braver, talk. Find a teacher to talk to, and I'm sure you can find great ways, especially if you are word smart, which I am not. But you might be surprised. You could be very good at studying English. And don't be worried about being perfect. I know when I first moved to the Philippines, a lot of the Filipino teachers were afraid to talk to me in English. Yes. Um, and I felt lonely because people were afraid to talk to me, but people were afraid to make mistakes. Nobody judges you for making mistakes. It's always impressed that people are willing to try, are willing to step out there. I have never looked at someone and said, haha, you made a grammatical mistake. If I did, I would have no friends because nice humans don't do that. So never be afraid of making mistakes. That is how you learn.
Wow. Okay. Not only the parents and also the KRC or followers are learning, but even Kuya Ryan and I think
Yeah,
Kuya Rani would
and
agree.
me.
So we have learned a lot from you.
Absolutely. Hmm.
Yes. So
Was
amazing.
it the Irish?
Yeah. What's it?
You'll be
You're the top
working
of the
on your
morning.
top of the morning. Oh,
Good morning.
you're already getting better. I can
They
tell.
say they say you have to do it for 30 times and then you'll get used to it.
Hmm. Be
Yeah.
Oh,
careful, Ryan.
Teacher
All
Ryan,
night tonight.
Mhm.
mhm.
Is it?
Okay, I have another questions for Miss Regina. Yes. Okay. For everybody, what methods do you use to remember vocabulary better? Especially for those learning
Mm,
English. Hmm. Is there
yes,
any methods that
I
you use to
am
remember vocabulary
terrible
better?
at that. So
Okay.
I I try to think of something it reminds me of. And I probably should not admit this, but I will talk about my terrible Tagalog. The only reason I remember mabuti is because I think of my booty. And so, how are you? My booty is good. I am good. And so, if you can find something to relate it to in your own mind, even if it doesn't make sense, that is what helps you remember. And of course, repetition. The more
Uh,
you say something over and over,
but
the
Miss
more
Gina,
you remember.
Miss Gina, with that, like for example, like mabuti, and they say my booty. So is it? Do we call it? I don't know if I remember it like mnemonics.
Oh,
Is it right?
yes.
Is it right?
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
Do you have any good tips for that, Ryan?
No, I'll just take it from you. I'll just take your advice. No, but
Since I am.
one good way. I'll just put in. I'm sorry, but
Mhm.
one good way I did was, that I'm introducing actually to our students and parents these days is the KRC system. I just call it care system these days, but that's the system I did. I had like two bottles or two boxes. When I learned something like a phrase, a sentence, a new sentence or word, uh, I wrote them down in small paper strips, okay, and put them in one jar. So one jar, the first
Ah.
jar is represents the words or sentences that I don't know yet or I have just learned. So every day I just pick randomly. I just pick maybe 10 strips and then
Mm-hmm.
just have to check the word. And if I know how to say it and I know the meaning and I know how to use it in a sentence, I'll put it in the other jar. So that
Oh,
represents that I know those words already or sentences already. So
okay.
that's what I did. That's
It's
what I
a
did.
fancier version of flashcards. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Any other
From
questions? Any other questions? Oh, there's a question here. My 6-year-old son has a lot of English words. I mean, he knows a lot of English words already, but he is afraid of using it in a sentence because when
mm,
he's talking, he usually mixes it with Tagalog words or Filipino words.
yes.
So I don't know if if you, how you deal with it.
Mm, Um, he should be proud that he knows so much English already. And as annoying as it would be for a mother, correct him. If you make him say a complete sentence in English every time he uses a mixed sentence, he is going to get tired of being corrected and he is going to start using only English. So that's great. Even if you just say, dinner time is English time. While we eat dinner, let's only talk English. Or while we ride the jeepney, only English. Or just pick a time to practice English. And during that, if he switches up, switch him over. Oh, you meant this? And that will be a great way to make him know that it's okay if he makes mistakes. It's just the trying and make him more confident in using those words. He should be proud. He knows a lot more English than I know of any other language.
Okay, thank you. So
I would love to hear some students talk to me in English.
oh
I
yes,
would love it.
yes. Okay, Gian. Actually, Gian here is
Hmm.
just by himself. I think. He sent a message that my mommy is not around. She's at work, but I'm watching now. I'm I'm with you. So
Oh, good. Good.
Gian, can you please turn on your camera and maybe we can have a quick, a little conversation with Miss Regina or Gina.
Or can I ask you a question, Gian? Will you
Gian,
answer if I ask you?
hello, Gian. Sige, i-ask natin yung mga mommies to turn on their cameras.
Okay. Okay.
Mommy Mia, Arlene, Bon. Mommy Arlene, yeah. Mommy Arlene, are you here? Mommy Arlene.
Yes po.
Okay. What about your Alice and Elijah? Are they beside you? Mommy Arlene?
Yes po.
Okay, so we can try, we can practice. Sige, turn on po ng camera para makita ko rin
Can
po.
they ask anything?
Yeah,
Colors, animals, any
yeah.
question?
Say hi.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. Can I ask you? What's your favorite animal?
What's your favorite animal?
Not moving. Wait a
Oh
second.
no.
Okay, it's okay. And Annalyn Kabugao is also here. Okay, you can join. Okay, and also Christine Mia. Okay, so please turn on your microphone. Yeah. Okay.
Giraffe.
Giraffe? With a long neck? Ooh, that's a good one. Do you want a pet giraffe?
Yes.
Yes. Where will it sleep?
Gusto daw ng pet na giraffe.
I don't know.
You don't know. I think you need a bigger house.
Okay.
Okay. That's a cool pet.
Okay. How about from Mommy Christine Mia? Okay. The name of your son is?
Ay mo daw.
Hello. What's your name?
Ethan.
Ethan. Okay. Miss Regina, do you have questions for Ethan?
Ooh. Mm, if you were a superhero, what power would you want?
Wow.
Sabihin mo. Sabihin mo.
My
Dili mo kayo.
favorite
Ano sabi mo? He wants
I
to
can't
have
hear.
laser.
he wants to have?
Laser.
Ooh, that sounds dangerous. You better get glasses. Don't break anything. Okay?
Oh, what about for Mommy Arlene?
Yellow.
Uh-huh.
Laser.
Owlet.
Oh, she said she wants to be an owlet. Owlet is like
Oh, I know
superhero.
PJ Masks, right?
Yes.
The nighttime is the right
Mhm.
time to fight crime. I can't think of a rhyme. I like PJ Masks. Very good.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, how about for St. Patrick's Day? What green food do you like? Can anybody think of a green food?
Green food daw. That's like
Oh.
Yeah,
Any green food that you like? Okay, you can answer.
nobody likes green food. Oh,
I like broccoli. I like broccoli.
oh, that is good. That is healthy. You will grow to have big muscles, huh? But you won't need them because you will have laser eyes. Very good.
Okay, what about from Mommy Annalyn Kabugao? Maybe we can ask your child, like, what green food does your child like?
Green beans.
Ooh, very Good. Another healthy food. Will you grow to be very, very tall? Hmm, yes.
Sabihin mo na yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, good. You can help mommy get things from the high shelf. Okay.
From Gian, she
Mm.
said, "Me teacher, carrot. Gian likes carrot, but it's not
Oh,
green."
mm, the top
Hmm.
is.
Yeah, the top, just the top. Okay.
That is
Oh,
good.
yeah. Yeah, so Miss Regina, we have like one more or last question. Is it okay? So I think
Hmm.
this is very also informational for the kids and sa mga parents. Okay, for your future reference, would you recommend the kids to watch educational platforms such as Peppa Pig, Coco Melon, etc. to learn stuff, and specifically letting them watch using phone on their own?
That always helps with comprehension. It helps them understand
Mm-hmm.
what they are hearing. Um, but it's best if they are talking back.
Talk.
And sometimes that takes us asking questions. So they can learn how to understand by watching, but speaking is better if they are talking back. Now, my 5 year old, when she watches a TV show, she yells at it the whole time. She says, "Oh, that one's my favorite. And you shouldn't do that. You're going to get in trouble." And that's a good idea. So if your child talks to the television, it will help them learn um, communication skills better. But if you watch with them and you ask them questions, it makes them talk more. And so then it's double learning when you watch with them instead of just, "Oh, Peppa Pig can't find the egg." Then you can ask your child, "How should they look for the egg? Where do you think it is?"
All right, so sa mga mommies, alam niyo na, okay? Um, yes. Okay, it's like when you're watching or when your kids are watching those platform, just make sure merong interaction, okay? Hindi lang siya, not only one way, right? One way of learning. So it's more on conversational pattern. Okay? So Sir Ryan,
Yeah. One last question. I thought it was last, but I have another question
This
for
is
you.
fun. I'm good.
Yeah. Yes. Um, yeah. Actually, watching videos can help them a lot to improve their comprehension. What's the advantage of students talking with tutors or with teachers?
Ooh. I think the biggest bonus is going to be corrections because when we are talking alone, um, we're more likely to give those one word answers, or like the one mother said, her child mixes Tagalog and English together. And sometimes our children don't listen to us as well as they do teachers. They are more comfortable with their parents, so they whine more to their parents. But a teacher, they are more likely to follow instructions. If the teacher says, "Oh, let's use a complete English sentence," then the kid might go, but they'll still listen and use a complete sentence. And a teacher has been trained how to look for those grammatical errors, um, how to offer tips and help the child remember the correct way of doing it, which even if we know the right way, as parents, sometimes we don't communicate it well with our child versus someone who's been trained specifically to do that. And it's always great if you have someone who refuses to speak Tagalog, then there is no chance. They can't switch languages. They have to speak English, even if they can understand, if they pretend they can. I do that with my children and whining. I say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand whining talk. I only understand happy children." And they have to ask again in a happy voice, "Can I please have milk?" But I am sure none of these children whine. They just speak beautiful English, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much again, Ms. Regina de la Serna, for this opportunity to, to impart your knowledge to our Filipino parents and also to us, okay, as part of the Orion's classroom. And
Good.
we would love to hear from you. I know it's too late now. What time is it now in your place?
It is almost 11 o'clock at night.
Yes.
Very dark.
Very dark. Okay. So we are so happy to have you here. And any words before before we end this webinar to our Filipino parents and also students?
I think right now they are being very shy and they shouldn't be. Remember, trying is the best. And I would love to hear you try. Everyone wants to hear you try. That is how we learn. No one gets better without practice. So I hope next time I see you, you try to think of a question to ask me and think of important questions like, do I like unicorns or dragons more? Good question. But it was very fun talking to everyone.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And teacher Honey?
Yeah, so thank you so much, Miss Regina. Okay, I learned a lot. It reminds me a lot of trainings, the things that we did before, and I would like to commend. You said trying is the best. That's how we learn. Okay, so let's keep on trying. Don't stop. Don't settle for less. Okay, learning is a continuous process as always. And before we end, we would like to give a certificate of appreciation, and I would like to invite Sir Ryan to
Oh,
give this certificate award
Yes, of
for
course.
Miss Regina de la Serna.
Yes, certificate of participation. This is presented to Regina de la Serna for participating in giving free webinar at Pure Ryan's classroom. So the
oh, so sweet.
signature will be given later. Okay.
Okay.
Signed by. Yes.
Sign those. That.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And thank you for inviting me.
Mhm. Yes. So it's
Mhm.
our blessing to have you here. And if you still got time
Yes.
next time, and if a lot of parents will
Part two.
request, we can have part.
I hope. I
Okay,
hope.
that depends on on her schedule. So let's see. Let's see.
And how
Mhm.
many hats I have.
Yes, I should grab a green hat too because I just have this black hat.
Um,
Yeah.
it's a pretty good hat, though.
Okay, but any plan of going back to the Philippines?
The Philippines.
Oh, I will have to visit sometime because my children are half Filipino. So
Mm-hmm.
their Lola and Tita live in America, so they know them here. But they want to someday go see the country where their family is from.
Oh, we're thinking
Okay.
because some people requested to give free classes to some Americans who want to learn how to speak Filipino. I don't know if
Ooh,
you know some people there.
I don't. Filipinos make it too easy because everyone speaks English.
English.
So
Okay.
it's too easy to speak English in the Philippines.
Mhm. Sure is. So, any last word, teacher Honey?
Yeah, okay. I think that would be all for today. So again, we would like to really appreciate your time, Miss Regina, for us today. And of course, for the parents, say yeah, and it's your chance to thank Miss Regina for a wonderful talk, okay, for us today.
And thank you
And
to the
mhm.
children who answered my questions.
Yes. Okay. So, Teacher Ryan?
Yes. Yeah. From Annalyn Kabugao, thank you, Miss Regina and Cares. Oh,
Thank you.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, see you soon. Okay, see you again, KRC followers, and also Miss Regina. Okay, so you have a good rest.
Bye-bye.
We learned a lot. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, body smart. Body smart. We have to show the body smart. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.